We're down the allotment today at ridiculously early time. Radio Leeds have decided to come and do a little bit of a broadcast from the plot, which is a bit unusual. It's not the first time they've been a few times. So Oli's here today with his Radio Leeds van, and we've done one little broadcast at 7 o'clock, and we're down to do another one a bit later on, around 8 o'clock. I'm just hoping the rain stays off. It keeps having a heavy shower, then it goes away, and at the minute the sun's come out, it's lovely, even though it's still only 7:30.
And while there's fun to be had at grinning at someone in a high-end supermarket waving their arms around over an avocado shortage, it's a pain in the neck for people who have allotments and vegetable gardens, and it's even worse for those people who grow it for a living. We'll speak to a farmer who farms in and around Harewood in just a moment, but let's find out how it's affecting West Yorkshire's allotments. Oli Woodcock is in Horbury this morning, and is it affecting your brassicas, Ollie?
Hi there, good morning to you. Yes, you do join me in Horbury at Green Lane Allotments. All the different rich textures of green around me this morning, birds tweeting in the trees, even some chickens in the background. They're not quite awake though. And let me tell you what I can see down on this allotment site, lots of puddles of rain. Joining me is Sue and Martin Garrett, who have quite a few sites down here on the allotment. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, I'm Sue.
Good morning, Martin.
Hi, I'm Martin.
Hi, Martin. So, Sue, what we're looking at now, we can see your allotments, we can see all the patches, the puddles of rain, I can see the sky reflecting in them. Mm-hmm. Have you got any veg here? I can't see any.
We have got some veg, or I should say we will have some veg later on in the year. We're very slow at getting it into the ground at the moment.
And that's because of the current weather conditions?
It is. We garden on clay soil, which takes quite a bit of drying out once it gets wet, and it's really sodden at the moment. Just like mud, really.
Martin, what are the conditions like then? Sue's just touched on it. Muddy, wet. Have the conditions hindered your allotment and actually getting the produce into the ground?
Yeah, I reckon we're sort of 2 or 3 weeks behind now. Lots of our veg is still in its seed packet. It's just too wet to get down here and put it in the ground.
Richard, we will find out more from Sue and Martin, who are both bloggers as well, an online blog about gardening. We'll find out more about that. We'll find out more about the conditions here at Green Lane Allotment. So garden fork ready. Get your garden hoe as well, Richard, and your secateurs. Join us back here at Green Lane Allotments in Horbury just after 8 o'clock.
I want to see the dirt under those fingernails, Oliver, before the time you come back this morning, please. That's Oli Woodcock, and more from Ollie after 8 on BBC Radio Leeds.
Don't normally come down at 7:30, but it looks as though at any time it could absolutely tip it down, but hopefully it'll stay dry so we can get done what we want to do. So this is me photographing Ollie photographing a tree. It's going to be entertaining.
They look gorgeous, the photos. So this one's called Brian.
Right. Oh yeah.
They kind of ripped his name off.
Yeah.
I'm normally in a different, I don't know what the other one's called, but all my big coat and my boots and everything are in the other van. I didn't even realise it. What I'll do, I'll put like the equipment on the top.
Right.
So you don't have the Delta Skelter, do you now? That goes up.
There was a right big one last time.
Yeah, when I very first started, I started at Radio Humberside, which is the station for Hull and Grimsby, North East Lincolnshire.
Yeah. So we're now on a little demonstration of the van now. This is the sort of gear I need to do some bit better videos. I might even get some decent sound quality with some gear like this. Oh, I can't get over being down here at this time of the morning. It's a bit of a shock to the system, really.
And there's two big red switches that you switch on and off.
Yeah, looking at that, I think it's a bit too advanced for allotments.
A bit too advanced for me, to be honest.
So we've done our Radio Leeds bit now, and Ollie's packing up his van.
But how did we get to this point? Well, here's weather guru Paul Hudson to explain.
Well, it's hardly surprising that farmers and growers have really struggled in the last few months. Of course, it hasn't been technically a harsh winter, but it's been a long one. We had that intense period of cold weather and snow at the end of February, and then March in the North Leeds Harewood area actually turned out to be the wettest month of any month since that very wet December of 2015. So farmers have had a lot to put up with. And then look what happened last week. We had the hottest April day on record. So farmers really have been contending with some really freak extreme weather in the last few weeks and months.
So at one end of the spectrum, you've got the farmer who is doing it tough and can't grow what he needs to grow and make the money he needs to make. At the other end, you have someone being hysterical about the fact there's no courgettes in their local supermarket. And sat somewhere in the middle, probably not make or break as far as livelihood is concerned, but certainly a big part of their lives, the allotment owners, the vegetable growers, the people who like to get out in their gardens and make some fresh produce. And Oliver Woodcock is in Horbury this morning, finding out how all of this is affecting a couple of people who fall into that category. Morning, all.
Hi there, good morning. Yes, it certainly is a morning of sunshine and showers here in Horbury at Green Lane Allotments. I'm getting my hands dirty. I can see all the rich textures of the greens and the browns around me. You can probably hear the in the background, and a really strong smell from the green gauge blossom. It's the pollen, and it means that pollen is doing okay, it's ripe. So yes, we're here with Sue and Martin Garrett on their allotment here in Horbury. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Ollie.
And good morning, Martin.
Morning, Ollie.
Thank you for welcoming me down this morning. Sue, just tell us what we can see then, what produce you have, maybe in the ground or what's not yet to go into the ground.
In the ground we've got some onions and shallots which are sprouting. We've put in some potatoes which aren't through yet. There are some more in the greenhouse chitting, growing little shoots ready to be planted. We've planted some broad beans, but basically what you can see around are things that are all year round, like the plum, the green gauge, the rhubarb, so plenty of rhubarb crumble. Apples, pears, josterberries, red currants, black currants, a grapevine.
You are painting a great picture there of what we have. And blueberries too.
Blueberries are in blossom.
They're in blossom. Martin, just tell me how the current weather conditions have affected you down here at the allotment.
First of all, it started off very cold in March with all that snow. Then it turned very wet at the beginning of April. So that's just delayed everything. The cold weather put everything back. Then we couldn't get started because it was wet. So now we're sort of trying to play catch up a bit, but the weather's not really playing ball.
Well, it's just started raining again now. I can notice the puddles around us. The sky's reflecting in those. Has the water been a big issue then? I'm getting that soil is moist and damp.
It is. Our soil's clayey. So digging it when it's wet just isn't an option. You can dig it, but you'll pay for it later. It'll just go hard, it'll just go like rock, like concrete. So it's best to just leave it for a while until it dries out.
The famous last words, hopefully. Have you a top tip for any budding gardeners, maybe allotmenteers who are out there, who are in their garden, on their land and not sure what to do with the current erratic weather? A top tip from you, Martin.
I think be patient. It will dry out. It always does. The weather will improve, and it's better to wait and be patient rather than rush things, put them in when it's wet, and then they don't grow anyway. So you're better off just waiting.
So, Sue, patience is key as we stand in the rain this morning.
That's right. And things do catch up if you put things in late. Generally speaking, we tend to put things in later than most other people and always catch up. So things will, kickstart eventually and get going, and you'll catch up.
Martin and Sue Garrett, thank you so much. Richard, the colours around me this morning, the tulips, the reds, the pinks, the yellows, the blues. It's like a magical painting. So from Horbury and the rain, back to you.
If you go to @BBC Leeds, you will see some pictures that Ollie has tweeted from the allotments. Interesting to see there are no pictures of Ollie's dirty hands, though. I fear he may have been shirking, not working.
Of course, been a showery sort of day. It waited until it was time to do our little bit, and then it absolutely sort of tipped down, as you'd expect. So it's not the sort of day to stop down here and do any recording. So I think once Ollie's gone, we'll probably head back home for a while, and hopefully the weather will be a little bit better this afternoon and we can come down and maybe do a bit of allotmenting, but I'm not that hopeful at the minute. It's so much better down here when the sun's out. It seems soggy underfoot, and I didn't think we'd had that much rain, as it might have been sunny a minute ago, but it's now raining again. Okay, see you, Ollie.